Hey guys, today for our read aloud, we are going to be reading the book Rosalia, the Honduran-American, and this is by Christine Osoria, and it's illustrated by Hative. Bayramoglu. I hope I pronounced that right. I actually bought this book off of Amazon yesterday, so we may all be stuck at home, but Miss Oss is still finding a way to buy books. Just can't change that habit. So let's go ahead and read about Rosalia, the Honduran-American. We are different. Our lives are collages. Be proud of where you come from. Embrace your culture. Rosalia is a young, vibrant girl, very talkative, speaks 2 languages, English and Spanish, and is Honduran-American. She enjoys dancing and playing with her friends and family. Her parents were born in Honduras, a Central American country. Honduras has beautiful blue oceans, tall palm trees with various delicious fruits like mangosteen, and sunny warm weather year-round. Her parents love Honduras, but they were told about a beautiful city called New York and a wonderful life they could have in America. One day, after much thought, they decided to pack their bags and move to New York, 2,000 miles away from Honduras. Rosalia's parents loved everything about New York City. They especially loved its tall buildings such as the Empire State Building and the Twin Towers. They enjoyed taking walks around Central Park, the Botanical Gardens, and the Bronx Zoo. During Christmas, they visited the Rockefeller Center to see the beautiful sparkly Christmas trees and watching ballerinas pile in the ice skating rink. New York became their forever home. As the years went by, the family grew. Rosalia became the firstborn, and then came her brother and her sister. At home, everyone spoke English and Spanish. Abuelita Maria, who did not speak English, began learning a few words from Rosalia. Rosalia would laugh when Abuelita Maria would pronounce words incorrectly like pencils instead of pencils. Rosalia attended the neighborhood's elementary school, Claflin Terrence Elementary School. Most of its students were either Hispanic or African American. Rosalia loved her school's diversity and having friends that were from different backgrounds. She felt like she belonged. So remember, diversity means different. It's a fancy way to say different. Because we're all diverse. We're all different. We all come from different cultures. We all look different. We all think differently. And that's what makes our world, and especially our classroom, so awesome. During recess, she loved playing hopscotch and double Dutch rope. Mrs. Rodriguez, Rosalia's 3rd grade teacher, gives them lots of homework and class projects. One day she assigned a cultural project. This project had been presented in front of this project had to be presented in front of classmates and parents. That kind of sounds like something we did on 5th grade earlier this year. Rosalia did not enjoy speaking in front of the class. She's very shy and gets nervous when people look at her while she speaks. She feels like she will stumble with her words and others will make fun of her. Mrs. Rodriguez asks every student the name of the country they will represent. And as Mrs. Rodriguez gets closer to Rosalia's desk, she immediately answers Honduras. Joelle, the boy sitting next to her, says, "What is Honduras? I've never heard of that country." "My family's from Honduras," Rosalia says as everyone is looking at her. Liz says, "I thought you were Dominican." "And I thought you were Mexican like me," says Rodrigo. "Do you speak Spanish, Rosalia?" Gabriel asked. Rosalia begins looking around the classroom, realizing no one has ever heard of her country, Honduras, which is also part of Latin America. It never occurred to Rosalia that people would not know about Honduras. I know I would feel sad if I moved to a new country and people didn't know what America was, because that's your home. As she sat in class listening to everyone yell, Mexico, Spain, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Peru, Argentina, Panama, Guatemala, she began wondering, why is it that everyone knew of all these other Latin countries, but not of Honduras? As everyone in class had a partner to work with, Rosalia was the only student doing her cultural project alone. She watched her friends collaborate with one another to work on their project as a team. She listened to her friends talk to each other about the foods they eat and the music they listen to. So remember, food and arts or music are elements of culture. What are some other elements of culture that you can think of? Well, I think of the people there. We said food, music, literature, or books. Can you think of any more? She was the only Honduran girl in her class and felt no one could relate to her because she was so different. She went home with tears running down her red cheeks and asked her parents, why can't we just be like everyone else? Why can't we be from a country that someone actually knows? Her father had a puzzled look. Rosalia began explaining to her dad about the class project. Her class not knowing what Honduras is a country and everyone thinking she's from somewhere else. Mija, are you ashamed to be a Hondurina? Her dad asked. No, Papa, but why doesn't anyone know we exist? Her mother heard Rosalia crying and said, Rosalia, I'm going to tell you something. There are many countries in this world that we do not know of. Just because people do not know that Honduras is an actual country and that it exists does not mean that you should feel embarrassed or even ashamed of your cultural background. Your father and I will always be Honduran, and we will not change who we are because people do not know of us. Rosalia replied, Mom, everyone in class was confused when I said Honduras. I am the only Honduran in my class, and I do not have a partner for my class project. All of my friends and classmates get to share and have discussions about their culture with their partner, and I don't. Abuelita Maria was in the kitchen making baleadas, listening to Rosalia talk to her parents. Rosalia, ven para asar, she yelled. Rosalia began walking to the kitchen, and Abuelita Maria instructed Rosalia to roll the dough for the tortillas to make baleadas. Abuelita, I really do not want to do this right now, Rosalia said. I heard you speaking to your parents about what happened in La Escuela today, so I figured we can make your favorite meal, baleadas, because I know you love them. Yes, Abuela, I do, Rosalia answered. Baleadas is Honduras' main dish and also your favorite. The tortillas, the frijoles, the sour cream, the cheese. This food is a part of who we are. It is what makes us different from the rest of the world. Rosalia, you will always have a piece of Honduras within you. You were meant to be different than everyone else. You were meant to be Hondurina. A couple of days passed and everyone seemed excited to present their country. Friends and family were welcome to watch the presentation. Many students were dressed in their native outfits. Music from different countries played in the background, and parents brought food for the big day. Ooh, clothing, that's another element of culture. Rosalia sat in the back of class, quietly hoping Miss Rodriguez would never call her name. Eventually, Mrs. Rodriguez said, Rosalia, you're next. Please stand in front of the class. Rosalia walks to the front of the class, her palms becoming sweaty, her cheeks become red, and she feels her heart beating so fast. She wants to run out of the classroom. She turns around facing the class and says, My name is Rosalia, and I am Honduran-American. I come from a family that came to the United States many years ago from a country named Honduras. Honduras is located in Central America. September 15th is our Independence Day. Our native language is Spanish, but many also speak Garifuna. Language, that's another element of culture. Our flag has two cultures, Carillion blue and white with 5 stars in the middle. Each star represents the 5 nations of Central America, such as El Salvador, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and Honduras. Our main dish is baleadas, which I love making with my grandma. Our traditional dance is punta. Punta is a dance circle while each of us clap, move our hips, twirl around with each other. We love soccer. We enjoy attending soccer games and cheering for Honduras. I enjoy watching Honduras play against the U.S. team. It is an opportunity for me to represent both countries that I love so much. Being Honduran and representing my culture today has taught me that it's okay to be different from everyone else. A few days ago, many of my friends never heard of Honduras, and today I had the opportunity to share with you a bit of who I am. I am proud to be Honduran-American. I am proud to represent my country with all of you. Once she was done, Rosalia looked over at her parents who were cheering for her. Her family started serving baleadas to her classmates and families, and for them to have a taste of Honduras, and they played punta music. Rosalia, I know it was difficult for you to see everyone share with their friends about their culture, and you had to do this presentation alone. But I want you to know you did an amazing job, and I am very proud of you. Today, everyone left knowing something they didn't know before. Thank you for sharing about Honduras, said Mrs. Rodriguez. Rosalia turned around, walking towards her parents, and said, I love who I am. I am proud to be Honduran-American. The end. What an outstanding book. I loved reading this with you guys. And it really takes me back to our culture unit, because when we studied our different countries and learned about the music, the language, the food, the clothing, what people did there for fun, their jobs, all of that fun stuff. If you have time today, maybe you can research another country. I hope you enjoyed reading Rosalia, the Honduran-American, as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And I'll see you guys in my next Read Aloud. Bye, everyone.